How's it going? This is Dylan.
This is Leslie.
And this is Music and Mascara in the car. Check us out at musicandmascara.com and dylanandleslie.com.
It's our group.
Yeah. A group on Facebook.
Yep.
Music and Mascara. Come be a part of the community, etc. So we went to Nashville this week. It's a super cool deal. I got invited by one of my friends to come to the CMT Awards during CMA Fest in Nashville.
We didn't know it was CMA Fest though. There were a lot
it
of
was
people
just
in Nashville.
massive amounts of people, super crazy, but it was so fun because there was just people everywhere, and I wish we could have stayed longer. Actually, I got a bunch of friends playing music there this week.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially.
So that that kind of, and we met some people too that are playing music there this week, which is really cool.
Right. Are they from there? Were they local?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So they came there for that. So
That's neat.
so it was pretty cool. We got into town. We got up at 3 in the morning on whatever day it was.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday, and drove up there and got there at like 8 in the morning, and just kind of scheduled a bunch of meetings, called a bunch of our friends that are in the Nashville area, because every time,
Because you got to meet with some music store friends.
yeah, from the music side of it, obviously Nashville is very busy for me because I have a lot of friends there and a lot of people to go around and see while I'm there. And so, right off the bat, it was, we went to Blues Vintage Guitars, which is a awesome little boutique-y vintage guitar place. It's new, and they're a dealer for us, so I wanted to swing by there and see them, and their stuff is it's just a neat little place. It's a little arty kind of feel, and it's off the beaten path a little. It's kind of cool. So I did that while she was doing some other office work at Starbucks, and then by the middle of the afternoon, we had to go pick up our tickets at the will call window at the Bridgestone Arena in downtown Nashville. Well, the thing is we get downtown and it's literally, the whole place is gridlocked with thousands of people and tons of like tour buses everywhere and
roads closed,
limos everywhere and roads closed, and I mean it was crazy. So it's like, well, I guess we're not leaving. So we literally just parked in a parking deck and went and had lunch, and went and checked out the whole red carpet thing.
Yeah.
Which was pretty crazy. There was thousands of people just like waiting to see a glimpse of somebody,
People that I don't even think were attending the show. So it was just
it was interesting.
an interesting crowd that drew for that celebrity watching.
Yep. Just people watching, really. And we did that. We just did that for a while. Just kind of sat around and people watched.
Before we changed in our car.
Yeah, because our dressing
for
room
the award show
was our car that we parked in the parking deck. So we had to go do that, and then we went to this thing and
had no clue what to expect.
No idea what to expect.
Live. It was live.
It was live.
Like all these rules and closed curtains and
so you could only go in. They closed the curtains and wouldn't let anybody in once there was live TV going on. So even like through the whole thing, if you had to go to the bathroom or something,
you were just stuck.
Out in the hallway until a real commercial came on, and then you could come back in. She actually got stuck in the hallway for a minute and had to wait until a commercial came on so that she could come back in.
Yep.
And they would count you in from the commercial. It's just like normal. I guess I'm used to that stuff from doing live TV, but basically they would count 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and then they would say, okay, everybody applaud, and everybody would applaud, And my friend is the music director for the CMTs, and so his job, that's why we were there, his job, or he invited us, is there's a house band over on the side that's like not on the big stage, and then they would have like kind of new acts, up and coming acts and whatever that would play out to the commercials and whatever. So his job was he kind of ran that whole thing and of course played guitar for it. So that was his job, and then it was really fun because we just got to sit around. We got a bunch of people. There was a bunch of people around us that I had met in the past, kind of at trade shows and stuff. But it was nice to actually, and of course, talk on Facebook all the time,
right?
And and do businessy stuff. But it was kind of cool to actually just meet them out of the rush of business and actually have a minute to chat. So that was really cool. A bunch of guys from Premier Guitar Magazine and stuff, the guys that I've talked to before, but it was nice to spend some extra time doing that.
Yep. And there was a single seat by me that we, you just assume nobody's going to sit there because it's just a single seat, and it was an aisle seat of all things that was just left. But this girl, shows up, she's by herself, and she's just like super picture taking, Snapchat, like she's super active. And I finally, when there was a break, I was like, so what do you do? Because I noticed you're really active on Snapchat, because that catches my attention, because we're telling people all the time, make sure you're active on social media. And then when you see somebody in action, maybe somebody looks at her like she's crazy, but I look at her and I'm like, oh, who is she? Because she's super active on social media. Well,
we were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when I ran into some of the guys I knew and some of the guys I didn't know, and I met them, like
selfie,
like Perry B, and I was like, we better take a selfie. Just chuck it up on Facebook, because we all know what we're doing. He works for a magazine. I work for a guitar company, and we know that it's all about FaceTime and putting it up on Facebook and whatever. Yep. And there's people looking at us like, why do you keep taking selfies with people? But I mean, that's what you do with those things.
Yep. No, it was fun. But so she introduced herself to me, and has lots of followers, maxed out friends list on Facebook, like had to go through and find me and add me. And then we're talking about just the scene, and it just sounded in conversation that our audience is probably crossed. So then literally you go to mutual friends, and we have quite a few mutual friends, one of which is Dylan. Yep. And I'm like, oh, you're friends with my husband. So that's Larissa Danielle.
Yep.
And she is putting her foot in the world, so go follow
there's
her.
Gonna
and
be
she's super active on Snapchat.
There's going to be some neat things going on. Yeah.
So the point,
at least follow her, because she's really active on Snapchat, and you'll learn from her. And she's successful at showing. One of the things that she's really good at, and I think we talked about this a little, is some personal stuff, some business stuff. It's kind of all mixed together. Right. She makes her fans happy. She makes her family happy. Everybody's kind of happy, just knowing what's going on with her. And she has a good mix of that. So if you can't add her as a friend, obviously, because she has so many friends, at least follow her. She's a good person to get an idea of that from.
Right. I agree.
Plus, you don't take no crap from nobody either. She's pretty cool about that. Negative posts and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the point of all this being, we tell you to build relationships, right? Like build relationships on social media. Don't just, it's still social media, and we should be meeting people and building friendships and building relationships. Because a lot of times we talk about converting to dollars. Yeah,
like,
we talk a lot of sales stuff because we think that's what you want to hear. But in the reality, when we say build relationships, it's not just about sales or business. And this was even a great opportunity for us to see, these are real. Every person we saw this weekend, or this week, it wasn't a weekend, it felt like a weekend.
It did.
Every person that we saw, we met on social media. From the store owner, from the guy whose house we stayed at, from the person who had our tickets for us to be there, from meeting this girl, from all the guitar magazine people. Who else? did we
Jim.
see there? Yeah, so we went to a producer's house. I mean, everybody we've met on social media, and these are real friendships and real connections, like recognizable people you would speak to and go have dinner with or coffee with.
And actually, we had like a couple other meetings. You were trying to schedule a meeting that we couldn't make the times meet up, so we couldn't even have that one.
Because of social media, I had,
Yes, and then I have
reach out
another.
to me, like, I didn't know you were in Nashville, and I didn't know they were in Nashville.
And I have another friend that was so busy in recording studio for 2 solid days, and he couldn't take time. I mean, the whole thing is all about building relationships, and these are people. Most of them are people that I feel like we're gonna know for a long time.
Right.
You know, and really, as our business grows and you know, and continues to get bigger, and everything continues to keep going.
It's just so funny. Like, even if we talk about attraction marketing, like, you attract the right people to you, right?
Yep.
And I was really, so we stayed with a friend, and the next morning, like, we're sitting at his breakfast table, and our whole conversation was about branding.
Yep.
And setting your prices right, and, you know, because he owns his business too, so it was just he's in a totally different business than we normally deal with. But it's the same concepts, like just proven time and time again. And it was just, you know, we were there at the right time in the right place, and it was a great conversation. Yep.
So I guess the point of this whole video, obviously, we wanted to tell you about it because it was super fun, and we had a great time, obviously. But the other thing is, focus on people as you're focusing on your growth, because people. It's so funny. This is all super fundamental stuff, but
we forget.
People is what makes it go. Yeah,
right.
You get so caught up in how many followers, how many likes, did I get enough comments, am I getting enough post reaches, am I getting enough whatever
and we
statistics.
Do that too.
We do it too. I sat down
talk
today.
About that.
No, we're gonna do a different video about that.
All right.
Because that's a whole nother thing. I want to talk about hashtagging, and I want to talk about some video stuff, because it's a whole nother deal that we discovered. I literally was sitting down looking at metrics and a bunch of stuff before we even made this video tonight. But don't forget about the people. You'll make really good friends. You make lifelong relationships with people, and really appreciate how the thing grows if you don't forget that, or take some time to remember it from time to time.
Right.
And I think that was this trip really helped us to do that. So as we contemplate next weekend and starting it all over again, because we're going to go do it again. We might even do it before that. So you just keep going.
Just keep watching, y'all.
Yeah, just keep watching.
We don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on in the next 24 hours. I'm just going to tell you that. So, more big things happening. Huge things happening. So, anyway, that's that. My name is Dylan.
I'm Leslie.
This is Music at Mascara in the car, and because we never seem to be out of the thing lately. So feel free to follow us on Facebook, ask any questions, and please tell us what you want us to talk about, because we want to know.
What are we overlooking? Like, what do you wonder? Like, if you watch these, do you think like, oh, what is, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't either. Anyway, my name is Dylan.
We already said that.
Have a good night, y'all.